Hey there, I'm Kat, and this is Brews and Reviews. As you may know, I'm taking part in the Roll of Reads Readathon throughout March. This readathon was created by a book fiend named Mel, and I'm one of the co-hosts for it. I'll leave all the other co-hosts and the information about this readathon in the description below in case you want to join us, because there's still plenty of time to take part, even for a little bit. So I'm actually starting my reading for the Roll of Reads Readathon on the 9th of March, which is a little bit late, but I had a whole thing where I was going to try and read all of the Cruel Prince series, and I did, but I got a little bit burnt out, so I haven't actually started any of my Roll of Reads reading yet. So there's quite a lot to do, and I thought I'm going to bring you guys with me, because maybe it'll give me like the incentive to just like read. So I think the first audiobook that I'm going to pick up is Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb, because I feel like that's the one that I am most nervous about, even though I've read it before. I think I'm putting this one off because it is that kind of fantasy where I have to pay attention. It's a very different vibe to some of the other books that I read, and I want to focus the attention that it deserves on it. So I think that I'm going to pick that one up as my first audiobook for this readathon, and I think that'll help me actually get into it. Now, one of the books that I picked was Transmogrify, 14 Fantastical Stories of Trans Magic. And I feel like I want to start this one because there are so many short stories. I don't want to read them all at once. I want to take my time on this one and read like 1 or 2 stories a day, and then slowly get my way through this one so that I'm actually thinking about each of the stories rather than just like steamrolling through and then forgetting the stories. So I'm going to start with this one and see where I get to. It's the end of the day, I'm in bed, and I haven't done any vlogging today, but I have done some reading, so that's, you know, good. I've been really busy today because it's Mother's Day, so I've been spending a lot of time with family. I saw my nan and my aunt and my mum, and we just had a nice time, and it was nice to see everybody and just chill out a little bit. And also I got a curry, which is always nice. I'm just going to balance you there. Sorry if you can hear any whirring noise. You are kind of balanced on my computer screen, and sorry about it, I've got weak arms. So let's talk about what I read. I read the first story in Transmogrify. The story was called Origin Story by Sandra Mitchell. This short story is about a kid with magical powers that got kicked out of a magic school because their powers were too wild, and it's kind of implied that they were misunderstood, and they've basically gone back to their lives not really having mastered their magic. There's quite a lot of conflict there where they're not allowed to reveal their magic at any point in time. So I really like this one. I feel like it kind of does what it says on the tin in the sense that it's an origin story rather than a complete short story. I feel like it could be made into something much bigger because of where it's left off, but it was cool. I liked it. I liked that there were a lot of references to She-Ra in it, because I watched She-Ra last year and I just fucking loved it. It's a great show. So I enjoyed all the references to that. And yeah, I enjoyed that one. I also really liked the writing style, and I definitely would pick up something else by that author. I also read some of Assassin's Apprentice, which, you know, it's pretty good. I am 84 pages into this book, and I don't know why, but it feels like a long way through. It's not a very long way through. When you look at it on the thing, it's not a very long way through. But there is something about these books that I remember from when I read it the first time, but it feels like a lot of information has been like packed into this very short space of time, and a lot is being said, and it is a recounting from Fitz's point of view, so I do get that. I don't know. I'm enjoying it, but it just feels like a lot is happening, but not in the sense that like, oh my god, this is happening, this is happening, this is happening. But it's like this entire life is happening, and we're learning all about the ins and outs of it, and it's just, I don't know, there's kind of like a slow pace to it, but it's also not slow paced. It's a really weird thing to try and describe. There is like a specific thing that I mean, and I'm not being able to put it into words at all, but I don't know, I'm enjoying it at this point in time anyway, so I'm glad I've started both of them, because now I will actually just be able to continue through them, and I won't have that kind of procrastinating starting things that I always have about books, so that's good. Hello, it's been a while since I've checked in. That's mostly because I've not done very much reading. I've read a couple more chapters of Assassin's Apprentice, only about 50 pages in the last 2 days, and that's actually all the reading that I've done. I was ill yesterday, and I basically spent as much of the day as I could sleeping, so not much happened yesterday. And then today I went for a walk after work, even though it was like drizzly and gross and like probably gonna rain on me, but it didn't. Like, it managed to hold off. Although there was a lot of mud, because it had been raining, and I didn't appreciate that, because I was like, oh, falling. I didn't fall. It was fine. So yeah, I listened to a bit of Assassin's Apprentice when I was walking, and then yeah, I haven't done any more reading than that, and I feel really behind, so hopefully I can get back on it. So I spent the entire evening not reading. I was watching crap TV with my mum, and you know, sometimes that happens. So I'm sat in bed, I've got some ASMR ambience going on, and I'm gonna start reading Transmogrify again, get through some more short stories for that one, and just relax until I fall asleep. So I just finished reading Halloween Love by Sonora Reyes, and that one was really cute. Kind of one of those things where witches move from like a witch realm and they come to the human realm and then think things like buses are magic because they have no idea how buses work or go on a timetable or whatever. So that was fun. I found this one really cute because it was like Halloween, Valentine's Day, like doing Valentine's Day in a way that suited the people who were involved, and I just thought it was really cute. So I just finished reading the short story Verity by Renee Reynolds, and this one was cute in a kind of like gut-wrenching way. This one's set in a magic school. There's a magic mirror that reflects the truth of a person rather than the truth generally, and it's a lot about self-acceptance. I don't know, it was like weirdly heartwarming. I like that one a lot. I am going to try and read one more short story tonight, and then I think I'll leave it there because I don't want to read too many at once because I don't want them all to blend into one. But this one is called Dragons Name Themselves, and it's by A.R. Capetta and Corey McCarthy, and I read oh god, what was the book that I read once? It was a King Arthur retelling, and I hated it. I really did not like it. So I already know that I don't particularly gel with these authors, so hopefully it's a good story though. The boy came in. We're hugging. So I just finished Dragons Name Themselves, and I'm so surprised by how much I enjoyed that one. I just feel like it was really cute. I feel like a lot of these just end up being really cute, and I'm definitely here for it. I love a good cute story. I definitely read these again. This one was about a magic school, but it's told from the perspective of the magic school, so it's like sentient, and it's trying to like push these two queer kids together, and I'm just like, yes, please, let's do that. And there's like a baby dragon, and it's just very cute. And this is my baby dragon. He doesn't really like being on camera. He's a grump, but I love him. One of the things I'm finding interesting at the moment is that 3 of these stories have had like magic schools in them. One sort of loosely because it doesn't actually take place at the magic school, but I think that's really nice because obviously with all the stuff that's going on with J.K. Rowling, it's nice to have magic school that has like a more queer positive focus. I don't know. It would be nice if we could just like eclipse that. And I feel like this set of short stories is a really nice way to do that because it is so trans and non-binary inclusive. And yeah, I'm enjoying that. It's weird to be in a magic school again though, because I feel like I just went so far away from magic schools when I sort of went, oh, Harry Potter's gone from my life. So it's weird to be back in a magic school. I know it's a different type of magic school, but like I've kind of avoided reading many magic school things after that, and oh, it's quite nice. So I'm about 150 pages into Assassin's Apprentice now, and what is striking me is that I just don't remember half of this book. I'm so glad that I chose to do this reread before I continued on with this series, because I don't remember half of it. Like, the whole thing about people being raided and then becoming, like, less human, like, not like less human, but having less humanity. Like, I don't remember what's happening there, what's going on there, if I even find out in this book. I remember the end of the book and the beginning of the book, and just this middle bit, no, couldn't tell you what happens. So this is like reading the book for the first time, honestly. So I'm quite happy that I am actually reading this one and actually getting through it now. But yeah, I'll let you know if I actually remember any of the things that are happening, because at the moment, I just really don't. So I've read 141 pages of Assassin's Apprentice today. I just completely forgot this entire middle section of the book, and I feel like it's probably because it's kind of like training montage, teacher bullies, student main character. It's just like a weird trope that I hate in fantasy books. Where I've left off tonight is a good stopping point, and I can just read the rest of it tomorrow. I think I am done with reading that tonight because I'm gonna watch The Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring tonight. On Friday I'm going to the Royal Albert Hall to watch Return of the King with a live orchestra, and I'm like, oh, it's been a while since I've watched the first 2, so I naturally have to watch the first 2. Okay, I'm very, very cozy. I've got a little duvet, an electric blanket underneath it, and I've got hot chocolate. I'm gonna put my glasses on, turn the lights off, and watch Lord of the Rings. Okay, I'm excited, but like, these are my favourite films ever. Enjoying my excitement, and now I'm gonna have a hot chocolate and just
Like, love my life right now. Please tell me I'm not the only one that cries every time they watch Lord of the Rings. Because I've been crying a lot. God, I love that film.
Good morning, everybody. I'm very tired, and I think it's a laugh that I said good morning when it's definitely not the morning. I got home really, really late last night because I live in the northwest of England, and the Lord of the Rings thing that I went to was in London, so there was a whole trains, cars, and other cars situation. So I drove to my friend's house, then he drove to a station outside of London, and then we got the tube into London, and then we walked a little bit, and then on the way back we did the same, but the show didn't finish till 10:45 p.m. so we didn't get back to the tube station. Well, like, we went on the tube and we didn't get back to that station where the car was parked until midnight. I got back to his house around 20 to 2 in the morning, and then I was like, yeah, fuck it, I still feel awake, I'll drive home. So I drove home, and I didn't get home till like 20 past 3, and yeah, it was a whole drive. I felt like wired though because it was so good. Like, I feel like I'm losing my voice. It sounds really weird, but it's because I've got like morning voice and tired voice. But oh my god, if you ever get the chance to do that and you love Lord of the Rings, it's so worth doing. I'm gonna remember that for the rest of my life. That was so good. I cried an awful lot. I was like, tears streaming down my face. I was like, don't hyperventilate at the right of the Rohirrim. Don't do it. And I was like, I'm an ugly crier as well. It's awful. I feel like the music in the Lord of the Rings films just makes me feel so many emotions, and getting to see that, like, see the people playing it, it's such a different thing because you actually like see, oh, that, I didn't realize that that was made by that instrument. Oh, I didn't realize that, like, wow, those men can sing some really, really low notes, because there was a huge choir and they were really good, and there was this one woman who sang all of like the Arwen song moments and all that sort of thing. Oh, that was so good. And then there was just this one woman with a little tin whistle doing all the Shire bits, and yeah, I love getting to watch the violins. The violins are always my favourite. Now I'm just talking about orchestra. I don't know, it was so good. It's like my favourite film ever, and my favourite, like, music, and it was so good. I'm so glad I went to see it. I'm so glad that I'm posting myself lying in bed right now just to talk about it. I'll tell you about what I've been reading recently, because I have finished a book and just not told you guys about it, but oopsie daisies.
I guess I'm alive. I'm very tired. My brain's not working, and I have a big fat headache. But who's surprised? Because I didn't go to sleep till 4 a.m. and it was a really long day for me. And I knew this day was going to be like a complete write off because recovery time is necessary, but I've just had no energy to do anything. I haven't done any reading yet. I'm going to try and maybe read like at least one Transmogrify story tonight because I've not read any of that for ages now. So I didn't tell you guys, but I actually finished Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb, and I really enjoyed that one. There was so much of that book that I've just completely forgotten about. Like, I vaguely remembered the shenanigans that happened at the end of the book with the poisoning and the marriage, but like, so much of that had fallen out of my head. And I'm really curious as to what's going to happen next. I can kind of see why I never read like the next book straight after it, but I'm kind of mad that I didn't. So I'm going to be picking up the second one soon. I just think I need to get a little bit further in my Roll of Reads Readathon TBR before I try and read other books on top, because like, no, silly me. So I finished that one. I rated it 4 out of 5 stars, which was the same rating I gave it last time. And I do think that that is because I do find the writing style a lot slower, and I have that trouble with other books that are fantasy books that are sort of narrated by somebody, like, it's the guy looking back on his life and he's telling you the story, and it's written in such a way, it reminds me of In the Name of the Wind. It has that same sort of vibe. I have like particular feelings about that writing style, and I find it very slow. It's not a bad thing, it's just much slower to read, so it doesn't like go down in my brain as easy as other things do. So it didn't quite hit 5 out of 5 stars for me, but it is really interesting. I'm intrigued. I'm going to read the next one eventually. And then, because I have those problems where if I don't start a new book immediately, then I have like fear of starting the new book and I keep putting it off because I'm an expert procrastinator. Well, I immediately started Norse Mythology by Neil Gaiman, and I've only read about what is the equivalent of about 20 pages, so I don't think I can really say too much about it, but it seems fine so far. Okay, so I read another short story in Transmogrify, and that is High Tide by Francesca Tacchi. I didn't particularly love this one. Like, I like the idea of it and like the pushing until like change can be made. This one was about a non-binary person who wanted to take part in like this river race thing where traditionally females are navigators and males are like the rowers, and like they kept being held back from that. I like the ideas in it and the fact that like it was about like challenging religion and tradition and that sort of thing to push forward, but like the main character wasn't particularly likable, and I think one of the side characters was like, not everyone's an enemy, you don't have to fight everybody, and I thought that was quite interesting because I could definitely see that in the main character. So I didn't love this one, but it had promise. The themes were good. Don't think it was my favorite story of the bunch. So I read another short story, and it was In a Name by Aida Shonabar, and this one took me a little sec to get into, and I feel like it was because the magic system in this one is a lot about chakras and aligning your chakras, and I don't really understand how chakras work. There was like a whole thing about clockwise and counterclockwise, and I feel like that was some sort of metaphor for gender and about how you can turn it counterclockwise and clockwise, and you can be one or the other. You can't be like both and all that sort of thing, which when gone into a bit further into the story, I enjoyed that. It was a good story in the end. So yeah, another one that I quite enjoyed. So I'm reading the next short story, and then there was this sentence: even when little drops of blood crawled out of their skin like tiny beetles. And I'm sorry, that's horrible imagery. I hate that so much. I feel like that's supposed to be some sort of lyrical writing, but to me that's just gross. I hate it. I just finished reading Bite the Hand by Nick Trexler, and that's the last one that I'm going to read tonight. And I didn't really get it. I think I'm just missing something there, but that one was not for me. There must be some sort of symbolism going on, and I'm just like, because I'm too autistic for this. It just went right over my head. I just didn't really get it. So I'm going to just say that one's not for me. So it's Monday, and I didn't vlog at all yesterday, and that's mostly because I just couldn't be bothered. I didn't put any makeup on, I couldn't be bothered to film, and I just didn't. So it's Monday, and here I am. So I did finish Norse Mythology by Neil Gaiman. It was okay. I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. I didn't really have many feelings towards it positively or negatively. Like, the gods were kind of assholes to each other, and everybody else, and some of the stories were kind of sad. I don't know. I'm very ambivalent about it, and I suppose it's good that I didn't hate the writing style. Like, usually I'm like, about Neil Gaiman's writing, but it was fine in this. I really don't have anything to say about it. It was fine. But then I also started reading Entranced by the Basilisks last night, and that's a good book. I started reading it quite late, and then I stayed up way too late reading the book. I read about 211 pages last night, and it was really good. I'm really, really enjoying it. Lillian Lark's writing is just very, very easy to read and made me laugh out loud a couple of times. I like little moments of like kicking my feet, and I'm like, oh, I like this. There were a couple of like editing errors that I noticed, like just a few. I mean, it is on Kindle Unlimited, so like I feel like that happens sometimes, but I'm enjoying it. I'm really excited to see where this goes. I didn't think I'd be interested in a book about 2 snake guys and a lady, but apparently I am. Okay, so I didn't end up reading any of Transmogrify last night, and it's mostly because I took all my makeup off, and then I didn't want to like forget the details of the short stories. So I finished Entranced by the Basilisks instead, which I keep calling Ensnared by the Basilisks. Anyway, besides the point, I gave it 5 out of 5 stars, and I fucking loved it. I did not expect to be liking the book about snaky boys quite that much. I knew I enjoyed Lillian Lark's writing style, but I don't know, there's something about this one. I feel like all of the characters have their own problems, their own things that they are dealing with and have to overcome, and all of the other characters are really supportive of helping them deal with that, and like some of them go about it in misguided ways, but I don't know, it was just really good and I enjoyed it a lot. So yeah, 5 out of 5 stars. Another book finished though, I'm really happy about that. Now we're moving on to the next problem that I have, right? And you notice I'm standing in front of my bookshelves. It's because I've lost 3 Dark Crowns. Like, I think I moved it. I think I took it off of my shelves to be like, oh, I'll get that out ready so that I can just pick it up. It's fucking gone. It's not here. I don't know where it lives. I can't remember. I feel like it either lived, like, here somewhere, or, like, here somewhere, but it's not there. So where's it gone? Where have I put it? I can't find it in any of the other places that I would have moved it to. And I'm like, how am I supposed to read it now? So I finished work today and I feel like absolute garbage. I've basically been asleep all evening and it's really pathetic. But at the same time, I'm like, that's what happens when you feel ill, and that you just don't want to do anything. And yeah. So I just feel like absolute garbage. My eyes cannot focus on a single thing. So I can't even manage to read one last chapter of Transmogrify for the end of this vlog. I haven't read a thing today, and I'm not going to, and this is the end of the vlog. It's very anticlimactic, but I just can't, I don't feel very well, so I'm not gonna film. Oh well, I've enjoyed vlogging this. I feel like it has really helped me to have, like, little vlogs of Transmogrify. Maybe I'll do the vlog for the rest of the readathon. I don't know, let me know what you guys think, if you want to see more of just a lot of my rambling, because that is what this vlog has been. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!